2,500. That's how many years ago that the ancient manuscript on the art of war was written. Its author was a Chinese general by the name of Sun Tzu. 3. The number of global conflicts fought by U.S. Army soldier Douglas MacArthur, World War I and II, and the Korean War. Interestingly, one of the general's favorite books was The Art of War. My thesis examines MacArthur's operations through the lens of these ancient truths to analyze how their application, or lack thereof, influenced the outcome of wars. And more importantly, the project evaluates what implications can be drawn to inform future warfare. Combing through the archived documents has equipped me with the detailed battlefield knowledge of MacArthur's maneuvers. Let's dwell for a moment on World War I. What is extraordinary about this war was how so much of the fighting ignored Sun Tzu's principles of war, such as the one noted on the slide. It says, avoid the enemy's strengths and attack his weaknesses. Contrary to this truth, Allied powers continued for nearly 4 years to fight strength on strength in bloody, muddy trench warfare, costing an estimated 9 million lives. MacArthur changed this pattern at the Battle of Côte de Châtillon, applying several principles such as know your enemy. He broke through a line of German defenses that had been held for years, which led to Allied victory. Now let's reflect upon World War II. By 1942, the Japanese had a stronghold in Southeast Asia and had occupied the Philippines. Using the principles of war, such as appearing where you're least expected, General MacArthur island hopped through New Guinea around the Japanese strong points all the way to the Philippines, liberating a nation. 58. The number of Sun Tzu's principles that I discovered were applied by MacArthur's forces during World War II. Turning our attention to the Korean War. 0. The number of people who thought MacArthur's plan to attack at Incheon was a great idea. But the boldness and expert execution of this maneuver put into play nearly every principle of war in the ancient manuscript, and it turned the tide of the entire conflict in favor of U.S. objectives. 4. The $1 trillion spent so far by the U.S. in fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan, with no clear win or stability to show for it. 63. The number of years that the U.S. has been technically at war with North Korea. We can do better than that. 364. The number of principles in the Art of War text taught at present-day military institutions. Yet, news headlines highlight that these are not being employed consistently in combat today. My research reveals a direct correlation between Sun Tzu's principles of war and victory in combat, educating our leaders on how to fight efficiently and effectively for freedom around the world.